It's Katie, one of the naturalists out at Hartman. This week, if you don't know, is going to be amphibians. So we're going to talk about all things amphibians. So amphibians fall into the study of herpetology, which is the study of reptiles and amphibians. They're kind of grouped together. But we're specifically going to be looking at amphibians this week. So any information, including packets that you can download online, are going to be on our website under virtual learning, and that's hartmanreserve.org, so you can get those there. And we'll have some outside the Nature Center as always. So again, like every other week, I'm going to share with you some of my favorite field and ID guides, starting with one I think is really great for kids. So this is a Peterson field guide. So it's a first guide to reptiles and amphibians. So it does have reptiles, and we will do reptiles a little bit later here, probably closer in June. So this has both. And this is North America, so it's not specific to Iowa or the Midwest. So if you're just wanting a general idea. But the reason I really like this for kids is it has an introduction of what's a reptile and what's an amphibian, how to actually use an ID book, why it's important to have conservation around, which I really enjoy when they put those in there. And then it goes through some really basic ID. So let me get out of the snakes here. Here we go. So for example, if you're looking at toads, it has pictures of toads. Now these are drawings, but then it goes to describe male and female differences, as well as kind of where they live and a general description of what they look like. So it's a very basic field ID, which I really like for kids because it's easy for them to understand. These are fairly inexpensive too. And I like to have these because they fit in your pocket and I can just hand them off to kids to look at also. So that's your first one, Peterson Field Guides, and they make a bunch of other ones. They make a ton of bird ones. Next one here, this was actually made in Iowa. The person who wrote this was a professor of mine and is still a biologist in Iowa, which is really cool. So this is specifically for salamanders, and we'll be talking about salamanders and newts. We don't have a ton in Iowa, but we do have some. And again, this is kind of like the field guide from the previous weeks. I think it was with plants or mammals, where it's laminated, fits in your back pocket or backpack really easily. And it just kind of folds out. So has actual photos of the animal, a description of where they are. So this one has range maps of just like the state of where they're at. And then also like the size, habitat, and species that may be similar, which is really cool. Another thing I really like about this field guide is that it has a key. So if you're confused about like a certain groove or gill, or what what body part makes it, this species and not that species, this is super handy. So that's really cool. Again, this is inexpensive and it's made locally. So I recommend these, and they have a bunch of different ones, not just salamanders, but like snakes and turtles and stuff too. And the last one is, so Katie and I both own one of these personally because we're big nerds. But this is the Frog and Toads of North America. Now again, it's all of North America, but this is an amazing book. Couple reasons why. Okay, it has beautiful pictures in it, up close pictures of what they really look like in real life. It has a range map. You got your common and scientific name and a general size estimate, and then a big long description of all the things you could possibly want to know. And then here's the kicker. This is the best part, because if you're a big nerd like me and you really like your reptiles and amphibians, you want to know all the things, including their calls. So this comes with a beautiful, wonderful CD that you can put in, and the tracks are listed by the name of the frog or toad. So if you're trying to learn your frog and toad calls, this is an amazing book to learn from, because you can learn all those things. And at the end of that CD, they have a couple tracks that have a mixture of frog and toad calls, so you can start to differentiate who's singing when, because frogs and toads don't tend to sing, one and then the other. They all sing at the same time. So highly recommend this book. Beautiful pictures, super cool to look at. the CD is amazing. I love it, and sometimes we'll just listen to it for fun. So those are the 3 that I'm going to show you this week. We'll be posting stuff just like every other week. We'll have a live video. We'll have some pre-recorded stuff. And then some did you knows that are coming out. So again, if you have any questions at all this week, send us a message on Facebook or comment on any of the posts we have this week. Otherwise, we will see you guys later.